Berlin is one of those cities that doesn't try to impress you at first. No fairy tale castles, no polished postcard look. But once you spend some time here, you realize something. This city hits differently. Some places feel deeply historic, powerful, and meaningful, while others feel creative, modern, and completely unexpected. And if you don't choose the right spots, Berlin can feel confusing, even a bit underwhelming. So in today's video, we're breaking down the top 10 things to do in Berlin, the places that actually make the city feel worth visiting. Let's get into it. If you want the best experience, May through September is ideal. You'll get long days, better weather, and a more active city atmosphere. Berlin is very well connected with public transport, and you can get almost anywhere using trains, trams, and buses. That said, the city is bigger than it looks, so grouping nearby attractions together will save you a lot of time. For where to stay, it really depends on your style. Areas like Mitte are perfect if you want to be close to major landmarks and walkable attractions, while neighborhoods like Kreuzberg or Prenzlauer Berg offer a more local, creative vibe with cafes, nightlife, and a slightly more relaxed atmosphere. If you're visiting Berlin for the first time, the Brandenburg Gate is one of the easiest places to start. It's one of the most iconic landmarks in Germany. But what makes it stand out isn't just how it looks, it's what it represents. This gate has seen some of the most important moments in modern European history, from division during the Cold War to reunification. What makes this experience work is the setting. You're standing right in the heart of the city, surrounded by history, but also modern energy. It's also a great starting point since many key attractions are within walking distance. The only downside is that it can feel crowded and a bit rushed. So early morning or late evening is a much better time to visit. If you want to combine history with one of the best views in Berlin, the Reichstag Building is a must. This is Germany's parliament building, but what makes it unique is the glass dome at the top. You can walk all the way up inside the dome, and from there, you get a full panoramic view of the city. What makes it stand out is the mix of old and new, historic architecture combined with modern design. This works well for almost everyone, whether you're into politics, architecture, or just want a great viewpoint. The only thing to keep in mind is that you need to book your visit in advance, so planning ahead is important. If you want to understand Berlin on a deeper level, the Berlin Wall Memorial gives you one of the most powerful experiences in the city. This isn't just a photo spot. It's a preserved section of the original wall, along with an open-air exhibition that explains what life was like when the city was divided. What makes it stand out is how real it feels. You're not just reading history, you're standing in it. Walking through the area, seeing the preserved wall, and understanding the stories behind it adds a completely different layer to your trip. This is ideal for anyone who wants more than just sightseeing, something meaningful and memorable. The only downside is that it's not a fun experience, but that's exactly what makes it important. And from here, Berlin starts to feel even more interesting, because the next places shift from history into culture, creativity, and everyday life. If you want to see a more creative side of Berlin's history, the East Side Gallery offers something completely different. This is the longest remaining stretch of the Berlin Wall, but instead of being preserved as it was, it's covered in murals created by artists from around the world. What makes it stand out is the contrast. You're looking at something that once divided a city, now turned into a symbol of expression and freedom. Walking along the wall, each section feels different. Some artworks are political, some emotional, and others purely artistic. This works well for almost everyone, whether you're into history, art, or just want something visually interesting. The only downside is that it can feel crowded and a bit commercial in some parts. But if you walk further along, it becomes quieter and more enjoyable. If you want to experience Berlin's cultural depth, Museum Island is one of the most important places in the city. This UNESCO-listed area is home to multiple world-class museums, all located on a small island in the river. What makes it special is the variety. You're not just visiting one museum, you have access to art, history, and ancient artifacts all in one place. Even if you're not planning to enter every museum, just walking through the area and seeing the architecture feels impressive. This works especially well for travelers who enjoy culture, history, or slower-paced exploration. The only downside is that trying to see everything in one day can feel overwhelming. So it's better to pick one or two highlights instead of rushing. If you need a break from busy streets and historical sites, Tiergarten gives you a completely different atmosphere. This is Berlin's largest park, right in the middle of the city, but once you're inside, it feels calm, quiet, and surprisingly peaceful. What makes it stand out is the space. Wide paths, shaded areas, and open greenery make it easy to slow down and just enjoy the moment. You can walk, rent a bike, or simply sit and relax. It doesn't require any planning. This is perfect for anyone who wants a break between sightseeing spots. The only downside is that it's not a must-see attraction in the traditional sense. But that's exactly why it works so well. If you want to experience Berlin's more local and creative side, the Hackescher market area is one of the best places to explore. This area is known for its hidden courtyards, small shops, cafes, and street art, creating a very different vibe compared to the main tourist spots. What makes it stand out is the mix. You'll find modern design, local culture, and historic architecture all blended together. As you walk through the courtyards, each one feels slightly different. Some are quiet and artistic, others more lively and social. This works especially well for couples or anyone who enjoys exploring without a fixed plan. The only downside is that it can feel a bit busy during peak hours, but exploring a little deeper usually leads you to quieter spots. And now we're getting into the top 3, the experiences that define Berlin on a completely different level. If you want to experience one of the most symbolic locations from the Cold War, Checkpoint Charlie is one of the most well-known spots in Berlin. This was once one of the main crossing points between East and West Berlin, and today it represents that divided past. What makes it stand out is the story behind it. Standing here, it's easy to imagine what the city felt like during that time, controlled, tense, and divided. There's also a nearby museum that gives deeper insight into escape attempts and life during the Cold War. This works well for first-time visitors who want to connect with Berlin's history in a simple, accessible way. The only downside is that the area itself can feel a bit staged and tourist-heavy, so it's better to focus on the history rather than just the photo spot. If you're looking for something visually impressive but also peaceful, Berlin Cathedral offers one of the most balanced experiences in the city. This massive cathedral stands out with its detailed architecture and large dome, making it one of the most striking buildings in Berlin. What makes it special is the combination of scale and calmness. Inside, it feels quiet and reflective, while outside, it's surrounded by open space and great views. You can also go up to the dome for a panoramic view of the city, which adds another layer to the experience. This works especially well for couples or anyone who enjoys architecture and slower-paced sightseeing. The only downside is that it can feel slightly overlooked compared to other landmarks. But that's exactly why it often feels less crowded and more enjoyable. Taking the number 1 spot is something very different. The overall nightlife and local vibe, especially around Kreuzberg. This is where Berlin feels the most alive and authentic. What makes it stand out isn't just clubs or bars, it's the entire atmosphere. Street life, music, late-night food, creative spaces, everything blends together into a unique experience. You don't need a strict plan here. Just walking around, exploring different spots, and following the energy of the area is part of the experience. This works best for younger travelers, couples, or anyone who enjoys a more social and open environment. The only downside is that it's not for everyone. If you prefer quiet evenings, this might not be your style. If you want to avoid crowds, early mornings are your best friend. especially for places like Brandenburg Gate and the Berlin Wall Memorial. Book key attractions like the Reichstag Dome in advance to avoid missing out. Group nearby places together when planning your day. Berlin is bigger than it looks, and this saves a lot of time. And if you want to experience Berlin properly, don't just rush through landmarks. Leave some time to explore neighborhoods like Kreuzberg or Prenzlauer Berg at your own pace. At the end of the day, Berlin isn't about perfect views or postcard moments. It's about the experience. Choose the right places, and the city feels deep, creative, and unforgettable. Choose the wrong ones, and it can feel confusing and underwhelming. If you found this guide helpful, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more travel videos just like this. And tell me in the comments, which Berlin spot are you visiting first? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.